How's it going, everybody? All right. Depending on how I title the video, you may know what I'm about to show you. Either way, you're going to know. I'm going to show you the update that I was talking about in the last video. It's a major update. It's a major purchase for me. A couple major purchases. The reason why I'm doing this is you get real good support. I'll explain that in a minute as soon as I show you a couple things, or show you some things, and then I'll explain what I mean. I'm sure you'll figure it out. So in the last video, I was mentioning that, I did the rear end and everything. That was costly, the quick performance rear end, the 9-inch. I had to save up to do that. For this upgrade, I thought of doing it and stuff like that and didn't do it. Just that kind of back and forth on it. And I decided I'm going to do it for a couple reasons, and one part of it is mainly the good support you get out of having it. So this is the major upgrade for me. Multi-port fuel injection. Obviously Terminator or holley EFI throttle body. I preferred the black one, but there's a whole story on that. Like I said, I was back and forth on whether I should do this or not. I should have did it when it was Black Friday. I could have saved about 120 bucks. It is what it is. Now, start with the intake. The guys, I'm gonna give these guys here. I had good service with these guys, good customer service. I talked with two gentlemen pretty much all the time. I only talked to them a couple times, just to make sure of what I wanted and everything. They were great about it. Mad Racing. Really helpful guys. And the only thing I sent them was 4 injectors. I only sent them the 4, obviously the intake. 4 injectors, intake. I sent them my plate here, just so they had it for clearance. Any clearance issues, that's it. Without even that, and it still clears my little bypass tube I made that goes from back to front. It will clear my heater control valve. I will have to make some changes here anyway, because the hose is going to be too long now, because my old line hose ran all the way up over here. So, as you see, I got the holley dual sync. Picked up the holley dual sync distributor. All this wiring is going to be cleaned up. I kind of had to unloom it from each other because some of the wires wouldn't have reached or wouldn't have looked right. Like the longest one I needed was my oil, and it was actually the shortest one in the loom. So I had to unloom it so I can wiggle wire through and make it long enough to where I need it to reach. All this is going to be cleaned up. Once it's all cleaned up and organized better, it'll all go back in the car. I have plenty of room in there. I'll be using my this map sensor, not the internal one. I guess that's, I call it an external, I guess. I don't know. This here is for the injectors. The ignition one is down there. It's just hanging down there. This is going to end about here. I had this sitting right about here. And then all that will go back inside the car. Here's my O2. Now I've seen a lot of videos. I've watched many, quite a few videos on the Terminator X, you know, to get a better understanding and everything. And all the videos show it being done on an LS, Coyote, Gen 3, Dodge, pretty much those. Mainly LS's. Not saying nothing bad about them, guys. Okay, nobody get mad at me about that. I ain't saying nothing bad about them. Good motors. Great motor, actually. But, so I've never seen anybody do it, like, on others. And other, you know, a BOP, whatever the case may be. Older engines. And, like I was saying about the support. What I mean by that, which I'm sure you guys obviously figured it out by the wiring, is you get a lot more support with the Terminator X. I got a Terminator X now. And all this kind of set me back a little bit. And with everything, set me back a little bit, but it is what it is. Now, there's nothing wrong with the FiTech. I had it in, I don't even know how many years. And I didn't have any problems. I had one injector go bad. The one time I had mentioned in one of the videos, I had a bad injector. Fixed that, car was, you know, no problems. Everything was fine. As for here, like I said, now the intake is going to be blue. I'm going to paint the intake blue. Most likely, I'm going to paint the rails black because I want it to be black and, you know, black and blue. You know, unfortunately, the throttle body's polished or whatever, raw, whatever you call it. But that's all right. So that is the major upgrades or purchases for me, was getting the holley stuff, all that. I even got the fuel transducer. So I got everything I need. Actually, no, I still got to get the injectors. I got figuring out which ones to get, and trying to save up a little bit of money because they're expensive. They're gonna I have to figure all that out, and figure out which ones to get. And then again, like I said, there was no issues with the FiTech, guys. It's just I always wanted to do this, or I wanted to do this. When I did the FiTech, that was what I was able to afford. You know, I really kind of should have waited a year for this, but after doing the rear end. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. The guys, Mad Racing. Like again, guys, I can't say enough. The guys were great. They were really helpful, and they even know it. You know, I talked to one gentleman, told him what we're doing, and the other gentleman called me just to make sure what I wanted and everything. And like I said, it only took about a week and a half. And that's from me shipping it to them doing the work, and shipping it back. I got it back in about a week and a half, which I was really happy. Because, well, I'm going to be going on vacation, and I didn't want them sending it out when I was on vacation. One time I had called them and asked them if, may need you, if it's not going to be done by the time I leave to go to vacation, just going to have you guys hold it until I get back, and I'll let you know when I'm back. But he's like, no, you'll have it before then. So, and here it is. The two gentlemen I talked with, good guys, and they, they answered any questions and went over things with me. They even sent me a picture before they sent it out and made sure it just is, how does it look? If there's any changes you want, let me know. And everything. I was happy with everything. Okay, so now that's the main thing I want to talk about. Like I said, once I get my motor back from it's getting drilled for the half-inch studs, the block and the heads, so I can put the half-inch studs in. Once I get that, I'll be able to start putting it back together, put it all back together. And like I said, the new rings. Like I said, I had found it was two. I think it was two rings that didn't look so hot. So changing them all. Other than that, everything else is fine. So all I got to do is start figuring out my length of my wiring on this. Give me a rough idea, so I know what I got to do with the wiring. I'll maybe give myself an extra inch just to be sure. Because this is where it should be. It should be sitting right about here. My fuel lines, the inlet should be fine with the length I have, because they ran all the way up to here normally. So this one should be fine. The return, that one I'm going to have to cut down, because it'll be real long. It's going to be real long, so I have to cut it down. And I got to put the thing for the transducer to put in there, and then probably a 90. All that I'll figure out. So that's that on this. Like I said, I'll do a little here and there when I, feel I got to or whatever. Now, as for this one, I've already, was the motor out in the last video? Yeah, it was out. Started cleaning it up again more. Started cleaning over here more and stuff like that, and all up in here. Started doing with the wiring. Got the wiring, took the wiring out of the harness out of the bulkhead over there. And now I'm just starting to wire it out on how it's supposed to go. These are his old oil and temp. So he's got some gauges in there he's going to be using instead. These were for the lights, for the oil and temp light. Other thing I did come across was this is his trans. This is for his trans. The only problem I have, and maybe one of you can throw me a little bit of knowledge here. Well, it wasn't hooked up on this end. This end was not even hooked up. And I looked up underneath the dash. I didn't see nothing. Nothing disconnected on the firewall or anything like that. So, and it was just dangling down there. Right where that brace was, or right where that brace is, it was just flipped up inside there. So, if any of you know where that goes, the one for the trans, I didn't see nothing on the fuse panel for the trans. Nothing on the pedal. Can't see any writing really on the fuse panel, but there is no spot that looks like available anyways for it to plug into. So if there's any of you guys have the information on that, please let me know where that goes. I'd like to know. Otherwise, I'm going to do some searching and figure it out. You know, I just started, like I said, I started marking off. It's just wipers, and you got your starter, and then coil and whatnot. I got to figure all that out, how the lengthwise and all that, so I can run it nice again for them. And then I'm going to be cleaning all this up in here. All this wiring. All the wiring here. I'm thinking about, let's see, I got to make sure, I got to strip this because this looks like, see, there's two of them. You got this big red, that big red wire. That's why I got to strip this and make sure you got the one that goes through. So, I mean, that one there kind of looks like this one here. I don't know. I don't want to say it for sure. So I'm going to strip these, strip this, and then this alternator wires here, it went across like this, across the car and hooked up to the engine. I'm thinking about routing that all the way around, coming all the way around, so it's coming like that, and you don't have it going straight across here. And then all this stuff I got to clean up too. I got to pull all that and redo that, retape everything off, clean all this, paint it. Got a bunch of his parts come in for the car, like for the control arms, the bushings for the control arms, and bushing for the control arms, probably his shocks. We're gonna replace the water pump, gasket set. You know, I haven't even opened the boxes to see what all is there yet. I will do that though, and then go from there. And right now I'm at the cleaning up stage, I guess you could say. So here's the heads. Everything looks okay. Everything looks fine. Another thing is, let me grab, what did I do with that light? I don't know what I did with the light I had. Oh, there it is. So after I got his motor apart, when I seen these head gaskets, I was thinking those are original head gaskets, but they can't be, because this motor, I noticed that too in the last video, that's blue. This motor was rebuilt. If you could see that, it's got the numbers, it's got the cylinder number stamped on them. So this motor was rebuilt. It's got a double roller timing chain. Here's the pistons that are in it. I don't see nothing, you know, saying 30 over. And I didn't notice anything on the back side of the pistons saying 30 over. But I really can't see in there too good. I don't know what size cam it's got in it. I'm sure they replaced the cam, obviously. Now, one thing I didn't like was, what they did, they put a hose clamp to make sure that don't slide off of there. You know, so I'm gonna have to take the oil pump off, clean it, and then tack weld it. Put some tack welds on there. I guess that's the position they want it in. You know, make sure it's a good position though. It looks pretty good, but we'll make sure. So that's on that. So I don't think that's 26,000, or was it 29,000? 29,906, I think it was. I don't think it's 29,000 mile car unless they really enjoyed it for that 29,000 miles and ended up needing to be rebuilt. But hey, anything's possible, right? You know, so all right, I'm gonna cut this video short. I just wanted to give you guys the update on this. and then the major purchases of mine, and so you guys have an idea what I'm doing. You know, please, if any of you guys know about this trans wire, I mean, I know this is a transmission side, but where the other end goes, there's supposed to be something that's supposed to go to. I didn't find anything. Please leave a comment on it. I'm going to do some research anyways. But leave a comment on, you know, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, please. On this, if you choose. Like I said, you guys, I've never seen this done on the Olds. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done it, but you know, that's it. I'm gonna make this video short, guys. So again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You all have a good one.